Was I in here last night, and did I spend a $20 bill? Yeah. Oh boy, what a load that is off my mind. I thought I lost it. Hollywood, where dazzling lights hide the shadows few dare to mention. Behind those flawless faces on the silver screen lie hygiene habits that could horrify even the most devoted fans. Some stars neglected themselves so badly they reached nearly 130 killgoers, reeking of alcohol, cigarettes, and spoiled food. One of America's most seductive icons refused to bathe, believing her natural scent was what made men fall for her. Another legendary figure went decades without wearing underwear, calling it his personal preference. Today's video brings you the list of 14 classic Hollywood stars, whose hygiene was shockingly poor, and especially the last one is worse than anything you could ever imagine. Chapter 1. Marlon Brando, the great actor who lived among sweat, whiskey, and moldy food. Marlon Brando was a cinematic legend, but his private life left people more horrified than impressed. At his Beverly Hills home, Brando often ate directly on the couch, letting crumbs fall onto his clothes where they dried and stuck. He rarely showered. The mix of sweat, tobacco, whiskey, and moldy cheese created a smell no one could tolerate. His assistant revealed that Brando only changed clothes when the whiskey stains became too obvious. During the filming of Apocalypse Now 1979, he stayed inside his tent for days. No shower, no clean clothes, forcing the crew to deodorize the set with activated charcoal. His room was always a mess. Old pizza boxes, spilled liquor bottles, and cigarette ashes scattered across the carpet. Everyone who worked with him said his smell lingered on the furniture for days afterward. He often showed up drunk, wearing the same outfit as the day before with sweat, cologne, and alcohol fumes blending into one. Actress Maria Schneider, his co-star in Last Tango in Paris, had to stop filming because she felt dizzy standing near him. Brando wasn't just unclean, he lived recklessly. He had relationships with both men and women and would arrive on set only hours after all-night parties. Frank Sinatra once refused to work with him again because he couldn't stand the smell. Still, Brando insisted on his bizarre belief that avoiding showers helped him stay authentic. He said it made his acting more real, while colleagues called it Hollywood's worst nightmare. When he passed away in 2004, Brando left behind a monumental film legacy and another reputation no one wanted. The man whose body odor forced entire film crews to keep the doors open for ventilation. And next comes another Hollywood icon who suffocated people not with filth, but with perfume. After two, Marilyn Monroe, the beauty icon who lived beneath layers of makeup and skipped showers for days. Marilyn Monroe always looked perfect before the cameras, but behind the scenes, she rarely bathed or removed her makeup. According to her makeup artist, Alan Snyder, Monroe went to bed with her full face of makeup, lipstick, creams, and her signature Chanel No. 5 perfume, never washing it off. Each morning, Snyder had to wipe away hardened layers of makeup like plaster before applying new ones. Her bedroom was filled with the heavy scent of perfume, powder, and sweat, so strong that opening the door released a cloud of fragrance. She rarely showered, preferring to wipe herself with a damp towel and spray more perfume to keep her natural scent. Her silk sheets went unwashed for days because Monroe believed the scent from the night before made her feel more alluring. Her housekeeper said the floor of her bedroom was dusted with a thin white layer of powder. When photographer Bert Stern shot her final series, The Last Sitting, 1962, he had to open all the windows because the perfume smell was overwhelming. Those close to her said Marilyn had a signature scent, a mix of Chanel No. 5 lotion and an unwashed body. Yet, men found it intoxicating. For co-workers, though, especially those trapped in small rooms with her, that scent was a nightmare. After she died, her Brentwood apartment still smelled of perfume for days. While the world mourned the loss of a beauty icon, those who knew her remembered the little room filled with makeup, sweat, and lingering fragrance. Beauty preserved under layers that were never washed away. And now meet the gentleman whose charm couldn't mask a smell so bad it made co-stars gag, 3. Clark Gable, Hollywood's handsome star with breath so bad co-stars had to stop filming. Clark Gable was every woman's dream in the 1930s, but anyone who kissed him on screen swore never to do it again. In 1933, he developed a severe gum infection that left him with a rotten smell of decaying flesh on his breath. Gable lost most of his real teeth and wore dentures cemented permanently in place. He refused to remove them for cleaning, fearing it would ruin his looks. Food stuck inside and decomposed, producing a nauseating odor. During Gone with the Wind 1939, Vivien Leigh had to stop mid-scene because the smell made her sick. Loretta Young, his co-star in Call the Wild, left the set after an intimate scene saying she couldn't handle that breath. The MGM crew stocked the set with mints, roasted coffee, and throat sprays just to fight the smell. Ironically, Gable was extremely neat. He bathed every morning and shaved meticulously, but never soaked in a bath, saying he didn't want to sit in his own dirty water. When he passed in 1960, the press hailed him as Hollywood's most charming man, while his colleagues quietly sighed in relief that they'd never again have to endure the minty mask over the real stench. But not everyone in Hollywood feared smells. Some made them their signature. 4. Elizabeth Taylor, the perfume queen who hated soap. Maggie the cat is alive. I'm alive. Why are you afraid of the truth? Elizabeth Taylor was known for her beauty and opulence, but her hygiene was the opposite. She almost never bathed with water or soap, believing they washed away allure. Each morning, she changed scents instead of washing. Chanel No. 5 on her neck, Dior J'adore for her hair, Corinne lotion for her shoulders, and jasmine oil behind her ears. The layered aroma filled entire rooms, blending with leftover body odor from the day before. Her clothes had to be laundered separately because they absorbed too much fragrance. At night, she never showered. Makeup, cream, lotion, and sweat mixed into a dense sweet smell that left others dizzy. During Cleopatra 1963, she went through dozens of bottles of perfume, forcing the crew to run fans all day. Her scent was so strong, people could tell she'd been in a room long after she left. Perfume was her armor against age and fatigue. Even when doctors warned it caused her breathing issues, Taylor refused to stop. Before bed, she still sprayed herself with more scent to sleep in luxury. When she passed in 2011, her funeral home was filled with the aroma of jasmine and musk. Attendees said they could smell her before they saw the casket. Elizabeth Taylor lived and died surrounded by fragrance. Her beauty forever cloaked in layers that rarely met soap. 5. B. Davis, the chain smoker, whose body roar of smoke and whiskey. B. Davis started smoking at 16 and never stopped. By the 1950s, she smoked over 100 cigarettes a day and drank whiskey in between to maintain her husky voice. The smell of nicotine, alcohol, and sweat seeped into her skin, hair and clothes so deeply it couldn't be washed out. Her dressing room was a fog of smoke. Curtains yellowed, wigs and dresses smelled like ash. On the All About Eve set, filming had to pause multiple times due to thick clouds of cigarette smoke. She smoked so obsessively that her nails turned yellow, her lips darkened, and her skin cracked from dehydration. At home, the stench was unbearable. Her adopted daughter said everything: curtains, bed sheets, and pillows smelled like smoke. Davis barely ate, surviving on cigarettes and whiskey. Her lungs deteriorated, yet she smoked until she was too weak to lift a cigarette. After her death in 1989, the cleaner said it took weeks to get the smoke smell out. B. Davis was proof that addiction can turn a person's whole body into a living ashtray. But Hollywood had someone even worse. Not from addiction, but from a fear of water itself. 6. Howard Hughes, the billionaire who lived in filth out of fear of germs. Howard Hughes was once a billionaire filmmaker and aviation tycoon, but his final years were like that of a broken recluse. After a plane crash in 1946, he developed an extreme fear of germs. By the 1960s, he locked himself inside the Desert Inn Hotel in Las Vegas, sealing the windows and forbidding anyone to touch him. He made his staff wash their hands dozens of times. Yet he himself went months without bathing. His body smelled terribly, greasy hair, long beard, and fingernails curled like claws. His room reeked of sweat, urine, and mold. He kept jars of his waste lined up around him, and the stench was unbearable. Hotel staff had to rotate shifts because no one could stand the smell. His white armchair turned gray and sticky from grime. Hughes lived on canned soup and milk through a straw wrapped in tape. He feared water, sunlight, and air, living in darkness and stench. When he died in 1976, he weighed barely 40 kilograms, filthy and unrecognizable. The medical team had to wear masks during the autopsy due to the odor. The hotel floor where he stayed was sealed off for weeks because the smell couldn't be removed. Van said Hughes died from his own fear, terrified of germs, but slowly decaying in his own filth. And while Hughes avoided water, another gentleman shunned soap, believing lemons were the purest way to stay clean. 7. Cary Grant, the gentleman who bathed with lemons and shared a house filled with citrus scent. Cary Grant was considered Hollywood's most perfect man. Yet, he had an unusual bay.